Oh, sweet.
All right. So, hi, I have Elizabeth Riley on the phone here. How are you, Elizabeth?
Great. How are you? It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's really good to see you. So, I actually got to meet you at one of our EXP conventions that we had last year in Las Vegas. And I always believe that God will place us in different seats, or, like we're meant to meet certain people that cross our paths for some reason or the other. And it was really nice because when I first met you, I had no idea, who you were. I just knew you were a woman who, from what I saw, was, smart, polished, and you knew what you were doing in your business. And then I started noticing that you were getting awards for our company, and I thought that was incredible. So.
Well, thank you. And I remember meeting you, and it's awesome. So I'm excited to be on here with you today. So
Thank you. Well, I wanted to really choose you out of a crowd, and just kind of ask you some questions that I feel that I needed help with in my business. And I'm sure if I have these questions, I'm sure there's other women or possibly even men that might have these same questions. So excuse the background noise. As you know, I am working from home right now.
you're probably going to get a lot of the same from me as well, as kids are coming in and out and all that stuff. So I think everybody's probably a little bit more understanding these days.
Awesome. I hope so too. So first of all, I have here as, for how long have you been in real estate? Number one.
So in May of this year, it'll be 15 years.
Okay.
I've real estate, yeah. And I got started in Atlanta, Georgia. And then my husband was transferred to Austin, Texas in LA. So mostly in Texas, but I was licensed in both states for a little bit.
And what company were you with beforehand, before EXP?
Williams. When I first got in the business, and for 10 years, I was with Keller Williams. Super loyal, loved the company. There's so many great things. So I was at KW in Atlanta, and then it was just an easy transition when I moved to Austin. So I was with KW here. That's the only company I ever was with until I joined EXP.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And why did you join EXP? I mean, why even make the move if you're having such a good time at KW?
It's funny. People ask me that all the time, and I think God has a plan and a time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love my job. It's not a job to me. I don't feel like it's work when I am working with clients day in and day out. But in 2014, we had 650 agents in my market center, and I ended up number one.
Wow.
And it was awesome because I wasn't expecting it. But I came home and I remember talking to my husband that I was getting out of the business. He's like, "What are you talking about? You love this. You just hit number one." And I said, "No, not anymore." Because for me, it's really about God, family, business.
Right.
And it was all out of whack. It was, for that year, it was all business. Everything was pouring into my business and everything else was suffering. And that wasn't okay. I was burned out. And so my Atlanta crew, they had a little tiny company called EXP Realty. And they had talked to me about it for a long time. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I can do my business with my eyes closed. I don't need any change. I don't need any disruption. And after that, I decided, okay, well, let's talk about this. So they told me all these things about EXP. It sounded awesome. I could put my head down, get back to the basics, do what I love. It wouldn't pull me in 20 million different directions. And Glenn Sanford happened to be coming to Texas. And so I met with him and I was like, I really love what he's doing and his vision. And I talk about this all the time. People join people, and I wanted to be a part of it. And so at that time, there were about 400 agents nationally with EXP, which is so funny because I was coming from a market center that had 650. My one market center had more than this company did nationally. But that's really how it got started with EXP.
Wow. Wow. And you have kids. How old are your kids?
I have 4. My youngest is in here right now. Oh, we're learning how to ride a bike.
Oh, mamacita.
Go rinse it off.
Hi.
Sorry.
I totally get it. No, I get it.
My oldest is 14, and then I have an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So,
And how do you
it was,
Lexi, this is my biggest question because you're successful. You've gotten Icon Agent, and we'll talk about that too. I want to talk to you about that. But you've gotten Icon Agent in our company. I think you said like 4 times, right? Or is it 5? You just hit. Wow, that's incredible. And you're a mother of 4 kids. How do you do it? Like, just like share with us like your typical, just the day and then maybe the week, because I have 2 and I know the challenges in that.
yeah. There is no typical day or typical week. I mean, every day is absolutely crazy, as I'm sure you understand. I just have a lot of support. My husband's awesome. He travels a lot. When he's home, he works from home and he can help. I do have a nanny that helps with the kids when I need her to. I have a TC, my transaction coordinator. If I didn't have those people in my world, I couldn't do what I do. And my kids, I mean, they've grown up with me being in the real estate business. They get it. And what's great about being in real estate is I can adjust my time and adjust my schedule to work around whatever I need with them, right? So my goal and my role is to take them to school every morning and pick them up every day. And then I get a whole bunch of stuff done in between, and I try to balance it a little bit. There's no real balance. Some days are better than others, and we're just failing forward. But I'm really, as much as it sounds bad to say this, I'm really appreciating this unexpected gift of time, because we are all here together. We're all trying to make it work, but I still get to spend more of those times that I wouldn't necessarily have, or we get to cuddle a little bit more in the mornings. And we just make it work. But some days are much better than others.
I just unmuted myself. Background noise. Yeah. See, and so with your business, because what's your average price point in your neck of the woods?
Depends on what part of the city. Really, Austin's around 300, 315.
Okay.
Right. My business is all referral based, so my it's a little bit higher. It just depends on what part of town. If you're more north, I mean, I think the average overall, if you're taking all the little outlying areas, you're really closer to 315.
Okay, so 3. So being a mom, hustling it every day, number 1, because that's your first thing that you have to be, besides God, obviously. It's like you have to take care of your home, and then your business. So knowing that price point, what's the average amount of properties that you have to sell in order to make your 100% first with EXP?
So I'm really bad with that. I don't know. I don't.
You're like me on that. Yeah. Okay. So don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's all referral. So I have no idea what's going to be sent my way, right? I might have somebody that has a $150,000 condo they need me to sell, or I might have somebody that, like, I'm launching a $2 million listing this week, right? So I have no idea where that's coming from. So it's really hard for me to understand what I need to do to cap and hit Icon. I don't track those numbers. I just putting in the job, putting in the work, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and focusing on my clients and loving on my people, I'm going to be able to make those numbers work. So some years I've sold 30 a year. Some I've done 35. Last year I did 51, but I had a bunch of investors in there. So it just depends on the day, month, and year.
Okay. So if your business is really, it sounds like to me, you lead with generosity first. You're a server at first when it comes to your business, correct? Okay.
That's my goal, is to try and treat each of my clients like they're my one and only client and just love on them. So that's my goal. Sometimes I do it better than others, but I'm trying to be really, really intentional with them.
So how do you make them feel like that? Is there, obviously you touch base with them, but what else do you do for them to make them feel that?
So I market to my my database and my sphere every month. I'm in touch with them probably 3 times a month, and then and I'm just very consistent. Consistency is key. So I send them something every month. It's not necessarily real estate related. I don't ever want somebody to see me and say, oh my gosh, there's Elizabeth Run. She's going to talk about real estate, right? My kids and my family, those are my why. So for example, I'm really, really involved in my kids' schools. I've got 4 of them in 3 schools this year. I'll have 4 of them in 4 schools next year. So I really give back to the schools. I'm really involved in the PTA. I'm involved wherever my family's involved in. And people recognize and know that I'm a giver. I give to the community, that if they need something, I'm there. So keeping in touch with them as far as community service, but also letting them know what I'm doing on a monthly basis. I send them a newsletter as well. That is a little bit more real estate related. And then I'm just in relationship with them. So I try to get together with my clients for coffee or tea. I used to do lunches, but lunches are kind of hard sometimes because of the schedules. I try to get in touch with them and just be in relationship. How are you doing? I'm not calling up my client, for example. I've got a list of my clients that I'm calling today. I'm not calling Ginger up and saying, hey, I know you're home. Are you looking for somebody? Do you know anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? That's not my style. I don't want somebody to do that to me. So I'm not going to do that to somebody else. But what I am going to do is I'm going to call them all and be like, hey, Ginger, how are you doing? How's your family? Are you guys safe? Do you need anything? And I'm just in relationship with them. And that's me being authentic, because that's how I respond well to people. And, you know, that works for me. It doesn't work for everybody else. But if I was told I had to be, in order to be successful, I had to go cold call or knock on doors, this would not be the business for me.
You're just like me. It's then maybe that's why when I gravitated towards you. It was like, I love this girl, Yeah, I am so the same way. The only thing that I'm lacking and I want to put together is a newsletter. So that's my next project that I'm working on.
I can ideas and tell you what I do offline. I know that this is specific for something else, but I can always share. And I take that class, marketing to your sphere, a lot. So next time you get a chance, I have a lot of them.
Go to where?
Next time I teach in the cloud, marketing to your sphere, I have a lot of ideas that you might want to, if your personality and your business is a lot like mine, there might be some good ideas for you to implement.
And this is why EXP is so darn awesome, because we have this world where we all could collaborate, and people just like Elizabeth Riley and other people from different parts, Florida, New York, California, we all come together and we have experts just training on topics like this, So,
well, because the better you do, the better I do, the better we all do, right? We're one company, we're publicly traded, and we are all shareholders. We're all owners. We come from an owner mindset. And so as owners, I want my company to do well, which includes all of us doing well together. So it just changes things a little bit when you approach it that way.
Yeah, it's so true. I'm so glad that I'm part of this company. Let me say, I think I have a couple of questions here, and then I think we should be well. Okay, are you a solo agent or a team agent?
I'm a solo agent, so it's kind of confusing. I have the Lux Property Group, and there's 5 of us. However, all of us are individual agents working under the brand, right? So we all have our own databases, we have our own clients, we have our own splits. They don't pay me a split. They don't pay anything. We just get together and collaborate, and it's accountability. And it makes us look bigger in the marketplace, if you will. But it's also awesome to let your clients know, hey, I have a team of support no matter what we're doing. And so, but my numbers and my business is, I'm an individual agent.
I remember you sharing that before, that you have created a group, but you each have your own production. And that's that's kind of the direction that I'm heading towards, with not necessarily having my team, because there's a lot of responsibility with that, but collaborating with other like-minded individuals. And then we just kind of share the market together that way with open houses and other ideas.
You see a lot of people doing that right now at EXP. I have a lot of people that call me asking how we have it structured, because that really fits. I mean, we're all entrepreneurs and we want to have our own businesses, but there's something about kind of doing it together, right?
Yeah.
And brainstorm and bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that later, just like a little bit of structure. So, and let me see here. Let's see. One question that I had here was, what has been the most difficult learning curve you had to learn in your real estate career?
In my real estate career?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think my biggest learning curve was moving from one state to another. And the Texas real estate is very, very different than Georgia real estate. And I moved in '08, which was a really challenging time in the real estate industry as a whole, right? I mean, it was a bad time to get in the business. However, I looked at it as opportunity. I didn't really know anybody here. I knew real estate. I didn't know Texas real estate, and I just plugged in and I doubled down on my business and I learned as much as I could. And I think that was a really big ramp for me, just because I was learning a whole bunch at once. But it's interesting because now I'm doing the same thing, right? We're all shelter in place. We're all working from home, and I'm taking this opportunity to double down on my business. Let me learn as much. What am I wanting to get better at? What am I wanting to brush up on? And so then that way the learning curve isn't so steep, and I'm just learning from those around me. But I think the biggest challenge I had was moving from one state to another and starting a business all over, right? I was doing really well in Georgia, and to have to pick up and start over again was really big, a bit of a challenge for me.
And so now with this new little market shift that we're obviously going to experience, right? How are you going to shift that in your business, or what are you kind of looking towards that you're like, you know what, I need to get in front of this so that I'm prepared. So by the time, it clears up, this is where.
For me, I'm just going back to the basics. It's about relationships, right? I'm staying in touch with my people. I'm seeing how I can help them and how I can serve them. I'm also taking the opportunity to learn and implement things into my business that's going to make me more successful. With our company and our platform, we have so much at our fingertips, and that gets a little bit overwhelming, right? Because it's like drinking from a fire hose. But what's awesome is you have so many things to choose from to kind of put them in your toolbox. And so for me, I mean, literally right before you and I got on this, I was doing a Zoom listing presentation with another client, showing them all of the virtual opportunities that we have. But it's not that we're just now implementing this. This is how we've been operating. This is how eXp operates, right? And so being able to show them the advantage of our company, it's putting me well ahead of anybody else, because now everybody else is scrambling, not understanding that this is business as usual for us. So for me, I'm just staying in touch with my clients, authentically staying in touch with them, serving them. How can I help you, right? My girls and I made brownies and cookies, and we packaged them all up, and my little one colored pictures for everybody, and we put them on our neighbors' doorsteps to say, hey, we're thinking about you guys, right?
Oh, wow.
And creating those relationships, because we're all going to come through this. Some of us are going to be much stronger than before. I came out 2008 and my business was stronger. So I am just setting myself up now, taking advantage of the time I have to make sure that I'm able to serve people at a very high level when I come out of it.
Oh my gosh, I love this. You are such a Proverbs 31 woman, by the way.
Thanks.
You are. Oh my gosh. It takes a lot of strength, courage, focus, and I know you look up to God for everything that you do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is incredible. Well, just one more tip that you could give someone that's watching right now. Why should they even join eXp? Why even make a move, especially now?
Gosh, there's so many reasons to join eXp. It's funny because, I mean, I've been there 5 years now, and it's flown by. We're having so much fun. But I will tell you, the relationships I have and the people I've met are second to none. I mean, think about this. You and I met last year. I've met friends that are dear friends and colleagues from all over the country now because of this company, and we pour into each other. I'm a better agent because I'm learning from top agents from all over the country.
Yeah.
I'm learning from agents in Virginia. Their market's very, very, very different, right? Florida, very different. But are they doing things differently than I'm doing in my market? Yes. Can I implement that and make myself a better agent, a better mother, a better client to others, right? What can I do? So eXp for me is the relationships. It's the network, the networks that I have. I mentioned I was the #1 agent in my market center. I am more connected at this company than I ever was at that other company.
Yeah, same
right?
here.
every morning we have morning huddle from 8 to 8:30 from agents all over the country, just checking in. These are the 3 questions. How are you doing? What challenges are you facing and how can we help? Right? And that never happened before. And so the relationships and the learning that I'm getting from agents, I talk about this a lot. You know, I'll do some luxury in my market. And there was a class, this was early on, there was a class in the cloud, and it was luxury marketing. It was a class on luxury marketing. And I'm like, well, I teach, I love to share. I do some luxury, I'll go teach. I'll go add some nuggets, right? How arrogant does that sound? Like, let me just go. And I walk in, my little avatar walks in there, and it's 2 of the guys in Beverly Hills teaching on luxury. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
Let me sit my little avatar down, get my notepad and paper. And they poured into us. There wasn't any secret sauce. They were giving us all the stuff that they do. And why were they doing that? Because we're not competition.
Yeah.
Collaboration. We're all one company. Am I competition to them out there in California? No way. Do we have the same market databases? No way. What does it hurt for them to share everything? So that was the big aha eye opener for me, that EXP's platform and how it's collaboration, not competition. I mean, Glenn says this all the time. We were created for connection. I think that's hands down for me.
True.
Now, for everybody else might be something different. That's what's really cool. There's something for everybody here, whether you want to plug into the technology, plug into the training, plug into the stock and exit strategies that we have. But for me, my relationships are stronger, my business is stronger because I've plugged in and I've connected to people all over the country.
Wow, that is great. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so thankful that we got to connect the very first day a year ago.
I am too. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And I can't wait to see you at one of the conferences where I can actually hug your neck in person. But
yeah, likewise. Well, I'll look up for your marketing, your relationship marketing class that you'll have online. And another big bonus about EXP, all these trainings, they're free. It's not like we have to go pay a certain coach to go and teach us, you know, and that's what I love about this company.
Right.
So, thank you so much, Elizabeth.
I'm teaching next.
Yes, let me know.
Okay.
All righty. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. You take care out there, and God bless, and enjoy your family time.
You as well. Bye,
Thank
hon. I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. Bye-bye.